Peace to everybody. This story is about victims of human sacrifice found by engineers laying water pipes. And as you can see here in the picture is a human skeleton. They had been sacrificed like who knows how many years ago, but it is really degrading of anything like this. And I don't know what that is laying on the outside of the circle. It might be some kind of digging thing or whatever it is. So I'm not sure what it is. Dozens of Neolithic skeletons, including those of people who may have been victims of human sacrifice, have been discovered in an almost 3,000-year-old settlement in Britain. So that's a very long time. 3,000 years. I mean, who knows what these people were doing to them? Were they killing them? I know they were sacrificed, but who knows what else had they been doing to them? The remains of 26 people from the Iron Age and Roman periods were found, including a woman with her feet cut off and her arms bound behind her head, and another person with their skull placed by their feet. So, oh, this is terrible. 26 people have been from the Age and the Roman periods. And of course, there was a lady who had her feet cut off. I don't know why they did that to her. Maybe she was going to run or something, so they took it and cut her feet off. And there was another, and of course, she had her arms bound behind her head, and it's really disturbing what these people are doing. And of course, another person was placed by their feet. A collection of tools from different time periods were also found in the settlement, which was discovered by engineers laying water pipes in Oxfordshire, England. So yeah, so the workers, they were laying out pipes until they came to a stop where they found all these bodies that were um in the ground and everything. And it's just, I don't know, I'm not sure what they were thinking of, how they felt or anything like that, but this happened in Oxfordshire, England. Archaeologists inspecting the remains believe the people found were from the same community involved in creating the Euphrygian white horse, a prehistoric chalk sculpture on a nearby hill. So yeah, so the archaeologists were expecting all these remains, and it's, I mean, why would somebody do this? Sacrifice all these people that are from like 3,000 years ago. These findings open a unique window into the lives and deaths of communities. We often know how only, sorry, I had to retract that, for their monumental buildings such as Hilford's or the Uffington White Horse, Paleo Gorino Cotswold Archaeology Project officer said in a statement, sorry, I had to retract that word, office and it meant officer, sorry. But yeah, so they had monumental buildings that were, I don't know, I guess they were like stuck on the buildings or something. I'm not sure, but the deaths of communities is just horrible. And here is one of the pictures where they found the remains of somebody's body that was right in the right into the building, or if not, I mean, these bodies were sacrificed literally. The Results from the analysis of the artifacts, animal bones, the human skeletons, and the soil samples will help us add some important information to the history of the communities that occupied these lands so many years ago, he added. Yeah, so so once they take samples of everything that they need, like DNA or something like that, then it will help them out, figure out how it happened, why it happened, or something. And these are so many years ago that it happened. The group has removed the remains from the site for a forensic investigation. They were found during work on a Thames water project aimed by protecting an Oxfordshire chalk stream. So yeah, so they had to remove the remains. So it must, I don't know how many people it took, but it took I guess a lot of people to remove remains from places that they were sacrificed into. And as you can see in here, this is I do believe an animal skull that they found. That was one of them, from a horse, and it was just so terrible. They sacrificed animals just as well as humans, and it's just a horrible shame. And here's, you can see in another picture that this is a collection of flint tools that they used to help, I guess, to remove the bodies or whatever, or they were just stuck in the ground as well. It all depends on how they were. The findings provided a glimpse into the beliefs and the superstitions of people living in Oxfordshire before the Roman conquest, said Neil Holbrook, chief executive of Cotswold Archaeology. Evidence elsewhere suggests that burials in pits might have involved human sacrifice. And so there was a 50-50 chance that it had these pits that had involved in human sacrifices as much as animals too. So it's horrible. It's not a pretty sight to be looking at, but all these, and they believe superstitions of people living in Oxfordshire before the Roman conquest. So it all depends on how they were living, what they were eating, or whatever it was they were doing. The discovery challenges our perceptions about the past and invites us to try to understand the beliefs of people who lived and died more than 2,000 years ago, he added. So, yeah, that's a pretty long time that people have died more than 2,000 years ago. So, I mean, it takes a lot of centuries for all this to happen. And as you can see here down in the picture is the dig site where all these remains were found in, from human sacrifice to animal sacrifice, and who knows what else was there. It's just terrifying for these people to be finding stuff like this. And now that they have found it, they're going to do a lot of tests on these. How did people die or everything else? Wondering, why were they sacrificed? Did they do something wrong? Maybe, and maybe not. It all depends on how it went. But it's a terrible shame that this happened. Leave your comments below. I am out.